Let me give you more reasons to follow the homie Sil for the latest news, scoops and moves he's about to reveal. From coffee talks to special brews, I'm out of burgers for meals. A cup of bourbon with that tea that's about to get spilled. Like, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Take out your pen and paper, sit down and take notes. Sil is the realest among imposters, scavenging cutthroats. So, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. Between DC and Marvel, they both have a startle. Disney's moving finicky, let's not mention Star Wars. All these movie execs be drunk off their power, disconnected from the fans in the ivory towers. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. When they keep making the same mistake, that's what you call insanity. They can't even acknowledge their self-inflicted calamity. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. Scoop Senator, Coffee Talks, also covering analytics, making his own reviews, cause it's always been the critics. They clout chasers, money driven, repeating the latest gimmick. Come over to Sil Nation where true vision is given. Listen, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Let's not forget Mikey's son, always special to the crew from day one when him and Sil got together for special brew. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, I guess I'll finish on this note. When the niggas go flip mode, they turn gremlins, I'm Gizmo. Come for my people, my kinfolk. For them I ride for and kill for. With this till I'm skillful, you can really escalate till it all goes abysmal. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. I'm a watchman, forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go.
What's good? What's good? This is the weekly show, or as appropriately titled, the WB Paramount Saudis DC SnyderVerse weekly show. We just shortened it up for y'all, right? We back here. Obviously, the weekly show has been tremendous support the last 2 to 3 weeks. Shout out to y'all, like shout out to the viewers making this a solid slot every week. Shout out to me for keeping the schedule, right? but just want to give some love to Sil Nation real quick here. Y'all have made this the premier show talking about this Paramount deal every Saturday. The views are only going up. Now, to continue that, I ask y'all this every week, and again, YouTube tells me I got to keep saying this. Y'all got to keep smashing the like. Y'all got to keep making sure y'all subscribe. Y'all got to comment, engage, share the video even. I try to do some pop-up shows during the weekdays, but this is the premiere slot. And like I said, just thanks to y'all, man. We really are in a set schedule, right? So even like at times, if I have to like work on the weekends, this is I can at least get an hour in here with y'all. So much respect, much love. Sil Nation, I see everyone in the chat. Salty Freezer, I see you. Bayona Rad, Jovic, telling y'all to smash that like. Chubby Teddy, what's good? Jay Turner, y'all see the topics here. box office becomes a bigger topic as we get closer to the summer, right? If y'all notice, from like late spring, you get to the summer, and throughout the rest of the year, box office is a topic. So we're going to talk about that today. Some interesting films making some money, and looking ahead to more. Supergirl, interesting projections, and we're going to talk about today. Like I see when emotions get involved with this box office stuff, because I cover box office the same way year round. OGs know in the chat, but it gets really weird when it's Disney or DC. It gets some wild things going on. So we're going to talk about it. We're trying to separate from those who are just here for the clickbait and those who just here for the real numbers and analytics. You know, that's the millennial in me. I'm all analytical, right? So that is what it is. KFCU has been confirmed. If you know, you know that KFCU is a real thing now. And man, of all the things, since we lost the late great Mikey Sutton, this was probably it was a couple things on hand where I was like, man, if Mikey was here, he would crack up so hard. This is probably at the top of the list. My goodness, we was talking about this in 2023. The KFCU is confirmed. The KFCU. And oh my goodness, of things on one hand, I'm like, man, I wish Mikey was here to witness this. This was one, not none of his scoops. Like, he still has posthumous scoops that's still coming true. KFCU, Mikey would have been laughing for like an hour straight if Mikey was here for this, and we're gonna talk about that some more, for sure. You already know every weekend we're here to talk about this Paramount deal. We're here to talk about the facts, and now people are getting a little more quiet when it's time to step up in Congress. And you want to block this deal, Mark Ruffalo, but we ain't seeing no paperwork. So we're going to talk some more again about the Paramount deal. And of course, you already know it's about Restore, for sure. We see VEGA in the chat, for sure, man. Y'all have no idea, man. Like, this was probably the top moment. I was like, Mikey would have loved to have seen this confirmed. Of anything outside of his Dreamwalker getting picked up, KFCU. Oh, man, he would have been laughing for hours on this one, man. We're going to talk more about it. Dave Miller in the chat. Good stuff. Smash the like, make sure you subscribe. All right, let's get this going on. Let's get this. It's some weird stuff, man. It's some weird stuff out there, man. And it's so much stuff. During the week, I tried to go live. Yovi was like, I had a stream set up for Thursday, and it kind of fell through because of just my scheduling. But I'm just so glad that I can keep this Saturday going, because that consistency and the viewership is, showing up for it. So I just really appreciate that. This is my first like regularly scheduled thing, since Scoop Center, right? So it's been 3 years. It's really been 3 years since I had a set schedule. So just appreciate y'all supporting it. Usually Jules is here. As she told y'all a couple weeks ago, she's off for a couple weeks. She'll be back, but next week is not a show. So I just want to kind of get ahead of this. I'm going to be out of town next weekend. So me and Jules will be back 2 weeks from now. So just to let y'all know, as we get into the summer. The summer gets hot, and in July, it gets hotter in July. If you know, you know. And it's going to be some interesting stuff going on. We can't waste any time because there's a lot of topics I couldn't even fit into the show today. And I'll probably do a weekday show to kind of pick up on some stuff. Spider Noir, X-Men 97 season 2. I couldn't even fit these topics in today because, it's jam-packed. So we're going to start off with the box office. Box office battle. Box office battle, where we talk the latest in box office projections and forecasts. This is a hot week. It's been a fun time for moviegoers. It's been something for everyone this past couple months. right? You got Jovic. You're on a trip. I'll be in the replay crew. Shout out to you, Jovic. Good stuff. It's been something for everyone. Just I got my movie subscription, my movie pass every month, right? So yeah, with Cinemark here in Louisville, Kentucky. So I'm watching, about 4 to 5 films normally a month. Now it's like I'm watching 4 films probably a week now with that movie pass. And this week's projections, you got the new Backrooms film is A24. A24 is like the auteur go-to for theatrical films, low budget, but high on character, well written. I told y'all last year, A24 wants to work with Zack Snyder. So I had a few people around A24 reached out to me when I dropped that story, and it was like, yeah, you're right. So don't rule that out. Zack Snyder, A24, you give Zack Snyder a box of scraps, he's gonna turn a profit. But anyway, let's get back on track here. Backrooms is projected to be number 1 this weekend. Obsession, and I'm gonna go individually with these films after I talk about this list. But Obsessions is this year's Sinners. This is a phenomenon. This is a relatively low budget film. This is a very low budget film, Obsession, and it's turning a crazy profit, and it's pleasing moviegoers, and it's horror, just like Backrooms. So a very interesting weekend where low budget horror is ruling the box office. So what does that mean for relatively big budget Disney Star Wars? The Mandalorian Grogu is about to become a case study on some interesting things. What's going on in the box office right now. And then Michael's killing it. We'll talk some more about it. So Backrooms, let's start with Backrooms. This is, again, a low budget A24 film. I guess it has some kind of like YouTube sensation. I don't know enough about this film. I didn't watch it. And according to people that watched it, is not really hitting overall. We got the audience cinema score of Backrooms B-. But to be clear, this is a quote unquote horror film, which means you may not like everything. The theater goers may not rock with everything in this film. So it's usually always a low audience score. Like someone gets off that you didn't think should have got off, or it's not a smart climax to the story. Just horror films never normally. Obsession is an anomaly. Horror films normally get like B+ or less. That's just what it is. We got Vega saying, smash the share, subscribe. Let's restore the SnyderVerse for sure. Zack Snyder's giving us all the fuel that we need and more. And man, he's like, if you didn't need one, I'm gonna give you another one. Like he dropped several drops in one day for that film, for the restore. So we'll talk about that some more in just a moment. Backdoors, again, this is a typical that genre of horror. This is kind of what it ends up in. Audience score that's not the best, but what does that mean? What does that mean, right? The interesting thing, this film, as you see the projections here, let me go back to my screen here. It's projected to get almost 70 million. Some trackers are saying even more. Opening weekend. This film only cost $10 million to make. Backrooms. $10 million to make. This is the new flex in theaters right now. Don't spend so much money, just like Godzilla -1. Don't spend so much money. Make a great story, turn a profit. Or for horror, just shock them for a good weekend. You make about 70 to 80 million or even more. You're already in a profit. They only spent $10 million. So A24 wins again. Next week, this film's going to fall off the cliff, but it doesn't matter. You spent $10 million and you made $80 million. That's called a profit, folks. All right, so we'll give them their props with that, and that's where it stops now. But we'll give them their props for that. Love the horror renaissance for sure, for sure. This is again small films. It's not world-ending type stuff. Low budget, high character performances, and they're showing the theater goers, general audiences are turning out for tight knit stories like this. Crazy how Star Wars movie is overshadowed by 2 horror movies, and that's only Disney's fault. See, Mando, and we'll talk about Mando Grogu in just a moment. It was no reason for them to fall off like this. It's a brand issue. It's an obvious brand issue with Disney, right? Frieza says, I don't know why I feel Obsession is overhyped. Now, believe the hype. Obsession, it's a very simple story. It's great performances. And once you get to the thing with Obsession, for me personally, again, it's a horror film, so it's disturbing stuff happens. So if you're not for that genre, but once you get to the end of the film of Obsession, you're like, oh man, they pulled off the story. Like just how it ends, you're like, good job. Y'all pulled off that small story, very predictable, but it was effective. It was effective. You're hearing good things about Backrooms. I mean, I'm just gonna go with the audience score. It's it's a typical horror performance where it seems to be very front ended, which is great. So they already got their profit. Like day 1, they had their profit, or day 2. It's gonna fall off the cliff next week, but it's performing. It's performing what it needs to do. Disney still doesn't know. Yeah, Disney. There's no reason why Mando Grogu shouldn't have been ruling the theaters. For at least until I really say through June, but it's already been pushed back by lower budget projects. Obsession's only been out for 2 weeks. That's not really long enough for it to be considered overhyped. No, believe the hype. We'll talk about Obsession in just a moment. No, the hype is there. It's very Gen Z kind of horror. Felt the safe and went with their young nephews. I'm gonna disagree, Frieza, with the Gen Z angle. I mean, I can see some vibes. I can see some. So Gen Z, according to I'm real big on analytics as a millennial. So I'm leaning on the numbers most of the time. I do the eye test as well. I do the common sense as well, but I rely on numbers and data. I could see angles in Obsession where it's like a Gen Z thing because she kind of friend zoned him and he's forcing her to love him. So I can get that Gen Z angle with that overall. So yeah, I agree but disagree at the same time. Hollywood studios need to stop releasing the same month to each other. They got to spread this out a little bit more. But again, I put this on Disney. I'm not giving Disney a pass at all. There's no reason why Mando Grogu shouldn't have been running the theaters, and we'll get more into that. So Backrooms, again, just to, give them their props. You made an instant profit. The hardcores, they're gonna probably get a cult following behind this film. I don't know anything about this phenomenon. It started off as like a YouTube movie or something like that. It's kind of like a Blair Witch Project type thing, right? From my generation, that's kind of what I'm equating this to. Backrooms. You made your money, great. I mean, I may catch this on HBO Max or something. Usually A24 puts their stuff on HBO Max after theaters. So, okay, you made your profit. Good job. Good job. Obsessions. As it says, this is when people say it's overhyped. I'm not here trying to defend things, nothing like that. That's not what I'm about, unless it's Zack Snyder. But I let the numbers do what they do. Just factually, and just analytically, Obsession is not overrated. It's a phenomenon. It's increased its weekend take 3 weeks in a row. First weekend, I think it made like 17 million. The next weekend, it made over 20 million. This weekend is going to make over 25 to 27 million. It's gone up every week. Obsession this is a phenomenon in the theatrical space. You just got to accept the inevitable. This film is doing what it's doing. The hype is real. Okay, very simple story, nothing earth-shattering, but it's very effective. It's a very effective story. And again, I was of the person where I was like, while I'm in the film, like, okay, this is some disturbing stuff. It's kind of weird, but I get it. And then when you stick the landing, when you nail the ending, I'm like, yeah, they did their thing. They did their thing. Now you look at it right now, over 100. This is a snapshot as of today, as of yesterday's numbers. So it's going to be more by the end of this weekend. 100 million worldwide. Oh, that's pedestrian, right? They spent less than $1 million to make this film. Any business out there, I put in $1 million and you give me 100 million. Oh, I'm Scrooge McDuck. I'm diving into money coins. This is as real as it is. Okay. Like I can't accept people saying this is overhyped. No. It made 17 million the first weekend. 20 million in week 2. It's going to make 27 million week 3 or more. It's going up every week. This is amazing. At least with Sinners, and they put more. It's hard to say Sinners was low budget last year, but it is considered low budget, under 100 million production. It came out, made 45 million the first week. It holded the second week and just made its money with IMAX big time. Obsession is different. This is a little film, less theater screens. Half of the screens that you get, normally you get 4,000 screens for a wide release. Obsession's opened up to 2,000 screens. And it's working Disney. Man, the director of this film, Obsession, you have a blank check, bro. You have a blank check. Your next film, rock out, because they spent 1 million, less than 1 million, and they're already over 100 million overall profit for days. I applaud things like this in theater overall. Let's see what we got in the chat here. I feel you, Frieza. Yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah, if you're, that's why I always say I led off by saying, like, if this is not your style of horror, or if you don't like that genre or this style of horror genre, it's not going to get everyone, right? That's why it's still in the 20s and 30s. Like, if this was really like like Sinners that cross genres, you're getting 40, 50 million. Obsession is still like 15, 20 million because it's still niche, but it's definitely making this profit. With that overall. So I'll watch both Obsession and Backrooms. Yeah, this is all for this audience. Jovic, y'all eating right now. Y'all defeating Disney. Mickey Mouse is looking like it's lacking. It's called lacking out here. Amazing. Cringe beta dude loves someone over. Yeah, that's the premise of the film. Like, this is like a beta, she friend zoned him years ago, and he's like, oh, let me force her to love me. And it's unnatural. I love the premise. It's unnatural, right? And then poor girl, like, she goes through with this entire film, like, man, because it's moments in the film where she's realizing I'm being controlled. And like, this sucks. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a classic horror film, like Alfred Hitchcock, Twilight Zone type stuff. That's literally what this film is. Overall, good stuff. This is embarrassing for Disney. I agree. We're gonna get to Disney in just a moment. I agree. This is embarrassing because You got all this money, all this marketing. You got some marketing tie-ins to Mando Grogu, and you're caught lacking out here to multiple horror films. That's not a good look. Isn't that? Now, last week I was very optimistic about Mando Grogu. Now, again, me as being an analytical millennial, the numbers are in. I gotta react to the new data, right? This ain't good for Disney. So I'm gonna put that out there. Frieza says, I was just left with a ton of questions. Maybe that's a good thing. I've been theorizing certain parts to fill in gaps. It's a little headcanon with that. I hope this is just a one-shot story. Because again, Frieza, I like how it ended. I like how it just ended where it's like it is some unloose ends. And it's pure horror. No one wins in this film. Just if you haven't seen this Obsession film yet out there, y'all, no one wins. This is not a happy ending, right? So that's horror. That's the genre, right? So yeah, I got you with that. No way they spent less than $1 million. Well, you had no headline person. India Navarro, I think is her name. She was in the Superman and Lois film. Oh, I'm sorry, series. And these are TV people. She's probably the biggest star in this film, and she's a TV person. So yeah, you didn't spend a lot of money. They spent less than $1 million. That's confirmed. That's insane, right? I found it more funny than scary. I think towards the end, Wild Relic, where you had some of the disturbing things, where you got to get to the climax, you got to off a couple people. You know what I mean? It was more of a cringy type of horror film, but I thought it was effective. And the fact the audience is coming back, that's why it's working. What they did here worked. You got Dave Miller. James Gunn's 7 Secret Herbs and Spices. Hold on. Hey, because this is confirmed. The KFCU is confirmed. Oh, y'all have no idea, man. Of the moments I was like, oh my goodness, Mikey, I wish you was here to see this, man. It happened. It went full KFCU. Oh my goodness, man. Yo, rest in peace to late great Mikey Sutton, man. I'm telling y'all right now, just the personal conversations I would have with him, or on the phone or message with him. Oh, he would have been laughing for days on this, man. And if y'all don't know, like, what do we mean? I'll fill y'all in a moment, but oh man, that was just one of these moments for me. I just stopped. And I was like, man, I had an extra laugh just for Mikey. You know what I'm saying? Because he would want us to be cracking up about this. But Dave Miller says 7 Secret Herbs and Spices, quippy dialogue, ensemble cast, right? Hey, Dave's cooking right here. Toilet humor, pop rock score. So you got the needle drops, right? Animal character, serious moments undercut by jokes, obscure characters. I can't. This is the best recipe of the KFCU right here. Shout out to Dave Miller, man. Oh man, and shout, like I said, shout out to the late great Mikey Sutton, man. Yeah, I have no idea, man. I laugh, and that's a great thing. It's like when you can just be like, man, just hilarious. And I can just imagine the conversation me and Mikey would have about this, man. Like, that's just what's amazing about it. My goodness, KFCU, it's so real. It's so real. Good stuff, man. Oh man. So amazing. So you got this here with Obsession. That's great, right? Let's go further. Again, we're going about the box office right now. Overall, Obsession, again, you see where it's at number 2, and it's climbing. It climbed to potentially beat Mando Grogu. So Disney, man, y'all are on the clock with this. I didn't expect this. So the notes here are saying a nearly 70% drop for Mando Grogu. I'm shocked. Okay, when I cover box office, I lean onto the audience score. I lean onto the projections. Mandalorian Grogu. It's a fun film. It's a fun film. If you like the first 2 seasons of this series, this film is exactly what you think it's going to be, right? A- cinema score, meaning the people that showed up day one, they were happy. They were like, this is a family film. But this is showing this is showing the general audience does not care about Disney Star Wars. Like this, I'm shocked. Right? I'm seriously shocked. Budget of this film, again, according to what they're putting on their financial sheets, I don't care if you have a hate boner for Disney, just like people they hate Warner Brothers, DC. I get it. I'm going off the numbers. They spent 160 million according to the books. Now you can argue, oh, they spent more here with marketing. They spent more. They received over 100 million advertising tie-ins for this film. But at the end of the day, let's just cut through all the fluff. This film needed to make like over 400 million just for them to spin it. Like I said with Superman, we're going to talk about Superman and Supergirl later. When I said the number was 500 million for Superman, and I'll get more into that. But it's a number they got to hit just to spin something. For Mando Grogu, you need at least 400 million just to even spin anything. And you're floundering under 200 million after 2 weekends, likely. This is not a good look. You're losing to horror films, and you're dropping nearly 70% from the first weekend. See, my thing is one thing for the horror films to come out and do what it do. Backrooms, again, we show what it's doing. Instant profit. Obsession is this year's Sinners phenomenon, right? They can still do what they do, but you got to do your business. At least hold 50%. You're dropping 70% means the streets are waiting for this to come on Disney Plus. Let's just cut to it. Let's cut to the chase with this. That's the problem with this film, is that they wanted to spend this money to put it on a theatrical experience, and the general audience that knows of this IP of Mando Grogu is saying, I saw this on Disney Plus, and y'all putting a couple episodes on the big screen. I could just wait to watch this on Disney Plus. And this film is likely going to lose money. It's unfortunate. When you drop this hard week 2, no matter, again, I'm not about my emotions here. I like this film. I like the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian and Grogu. I think season 3, the whole DEI objectives. And the funny thing with DEI, I don't want to make too much about this, but it ended up being about a white female, because DEI covers anyone that's not a white male. So Mandalorian season 3 ended up being about a white female. But anyway, we'll stop with that. My point is that the general audience looked at Mandalorian and Grogu and says, this is made for TV. And I don't have to take my family of 4, the nuclear family, and spend over $100 to the theaters to watch this, because we got Disney Plus. And just quite honestly, the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian and Grogu was better than this film. This film fits right in it, but you really don't got to spend premium dollars to see what you're seeing in this film. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I enjoyed the film. But I understand the business. I understand when people ain't showing up for it, It's definitely a reason, and that is what it is, right? Real quick, let's catch up with the chat here. Mango, girl. Am I saying mango? Might well be mango at this point. I don't care about Disney Star Wars. I mean, like I said, Mandalorian and Grogu is a great show. First 2 seasons. This film's giving you more of the same, but this is what the audience is telling Disney is, bro, like don't cheapen us. We could watch this on Disney Plus, bro, and we will. I guarantee when this film goes to Disney Plus, it's gonna break records because they're like, hey, this is a TV show. Why are we going to theaters? Right? That is what it is. Mango Grogu is wild. Disney stockholders are not going to be happy about this box office. No, they're going to lose money. Yeah, I mean, I know last week a lot of people who are anti-Disney, they're going in about they're spending more money on marketing. Again, they had a lot of offset costs with marketing, but the number is still the number. Okay, you still got to get about over 400 million, and it's not looking like it's going to get it. Not looking like it's going to get it, man. You got to front load this stuff. That's what Michael did. That's what these other big films does. Devil Wears Prada. You front load it, and then you live off the word of mouth. Mandalorian Grogu doesn't have enough front load money, and it's going to lose money. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate this time with Disney Star Wars. Maybe they needed this. Maybe they need to fail right here to course correct and do what they need to do. According to reports out there, Simon Kinberg, the person that made Dark Phoenix, amongst some other stuff he's done is good. He's supposed to do the next 3 episodic Star Wars films. I think Star Wars is DOA. It's up to Starfighter next year. Star Wars Starfighter with Ryan Gosling. He's like the theater darling right now after Project Hail Mary. Ryan Gosling. And you got Sean Levy, who made Deadpool Wolverine, right? So you hope that combination is something in 2027 for Disney Star Wars. Because I'm telling you right now, if Disney Starfighter doesn't make a profit, because Mandalorian Grogu's not. This is dead. This is dead. And it's crazy because you have the cinema score, but it doesn't matter your cinema score. Not enough people care about this theatrical film because it's a streaming show. So with Starfighter, if you don't turn a profit, and if it's not like first 2 weekends profit, then you're talking about a reboot, a retcon, let's recast Luke Skywalker, let's do all these things because you lost the general audience. That's the problem with if they don't make enough money with Starfighter 2027. That's where we're at with that. So this is a real thing. This is a real thing. Mango Grogu smoothie now available. I did get the Burger King meal, the Mandalorian Grogu Burger King meal. It got this nice collector's cup. We got this barbecue Whopper. Like I was smashing. I was living good. But not enough. Not enough money's coming to this film. It's really unrelated with the Mandalorian, but doesn't. That's true. It's like a side mission. My thing, Vega, is the feel of the film. It could fit right into season 1, but yeah, no, it doesn't connect to the story at all. No, I agree. You're right about the Mandalorian start on Disney Plus. General audience would think, why I need to watch this in theater? Exactly. Why am I spending premium dollars? Again, and when they judge this, they look at the nuclear family. Husband, wife, son, daughter. What takes them to the theaters? They're going to go see Toy Story 5. We're going to talk about Toy Story 5 in a moment. They're going to see films like that. Family films. Why am I taking my family of 4, spending premium dollars for tickets and the concessions So you spend over $100 to go see Mando and Grogu in theaters? Nah, I'll watch this on my Amazon Fire Stick at home, right? Like that's Disney. They have a lot to figure out. Because I was of the opinion that this will work because the numbers, the audience score and the first weekend was okay. It fell a little short of 100 million because I thought that would guarantee some success. But when you drop 70% week 2, it's like, I can't defend you. The audience ain't there for this. And so if the audience ain't there and the word of mouth, well, I don't say word of mouth, the audience ain't showing up, you got to at least be front loaded, and this ain't even front loaded enough to withstand the drop like this. Best example in the world, BVS had a drop. It had a divisive audience score, but it was front loaded and it could brace the effect of any drop, and it still turned a crazy profit beyond theaters, right? Mando Grogu, no, it ain't on that level. You can't survive a drop if you're not front loaded. Man, this is a great screenshot in the chat right now. I know last week a lot of y'all was quiet and I was like, yo, Mandalorian and Grogu, like this is a fun family film. Now I wasn't shielded out, like no one paid me to say that. I'm a fan of theaters. You give me a reason to go to theaters, I'm going to find a way to go to theaters, right? So this gave me a reason to go. But I'm of the minority, right? Everyone wasn't flocking to theaters to see this. And like I said, I had a great time. I still feel you have a matinee day open. I still say go see Mandalorian and Grogu, especially if you like season 1 and 2 of the show. But, hey, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. The numbers, 70% drop. It's not happening. It's not happening. Simon Kinberg, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had that Mandalorian, that Burger King box. It's like in a Happy Meal box, right? Harris in the chat. It's like in a Happy Meal box. I'm like, why did I get a Happy Meal? I'm like a grown person, and Burger King gives me a Happy Meal, and it has like your barbecue Whopper, some tots, I think like some chicken bites or something like that. And they gave me this collector's cup of Grogu. I'm like, why do I have a Happy Meal? And what did it cost? Like $20? I think I spent like $20 on that. I got a collector's cup, so I'm good. Those tots was good. All I'm saying is like, hey, not talking about the film or the performance. At the end of the day, the tots are fire. That's the legacy of the Mandalorian and Grogu film. The tots are fired. Oh, yeah, then you got gas prices. No, this is real. The economy is real. You got, now out here, I think my gas probably like at $4. I mean, I'm in Kentucky. So you got gas prices, premium tickets, and concession costs. You're spending over $100 just to see a streaming show on the big screen. Not really worth it for the nuclear family, right? See, like, if I was shilling for Mando Grogu, I did a terrible job because everyone's saying I'm not going to see this. Insane. That toss was fire, though. The toss was fire. So hey, that's on the tombstone of this show, of this film. So Mando Grogu, that is what it is. Obsession beat it out. I mean, Backrooms could have beat it out on a normal week, but there's no reason why Obsession should have beat a Disney Star Wars film. No reason at all. And then it leaves us with Michael. Michael, solid hold. That's been the theme of this film. Is approaching 400 million domestically alone. Michael is, and overall, it's cracked 800 million this is based off yesterday's numbers, it's only going to go up. Will it hit $1 billion? Now, to be clear, since week one of this film, Lionsgate, which is the studio that put out this film, the projections was great. It was tracking great. So it's like, oh, announce a sequel. Michael 2 is happening. So we know it's happening. It's going to jump back and forward. They're going to cook with that second film. Overall, they got the formula. So that you just got to recreate this magic. And I think they can, because you're going to have more songs of Michael. Michael's songs have driven the film. So all you got to do is use more Michael songs. And Jafar Jackson, his nephew's killing it. So we're getting more of the same. This is event level films every 2 years. They probably can make 4 of these. They want to make 4 of these, right? Not just a trilogy. You got the formula. Since week one's projections and performance, I was like, oh, it's on track to get over 800 million. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, it should do $1 billion. It's okay if it doesn't. It's okay if it does. It's going to get around 900 million. You already got the profit number was 500. They did reshoots, so they needed a little more for the profit. They already crushed past the profit. Again, they're throwing up dollars. Like, this is, it's all money at this point. If it doesn't get $1 billion, it's okay. Like, it's an arbitrary number. It's a nice marker, but it's okay, guys. This film's going to get around 900 million. And the world is better for it is making. It's holding on. And what's crazy is that as we pull back up these numbers, there is a world where Michael may beat Star Wars, Mandalorian, Grogu, and Obsession and Backrooms next week. Backrooms going to drop off pretty hard. Obsession, maybe Obsession will be this nuclear thing still going on. So that's the question mark. But Michael is going to hold. I think he's going to beat Mando Grogu next week. Then you got, let's see, you got Scary Movie and Masters of the Universe coming in next weekend. So Obsession, we'll see if it still can hold with the audiences. Michael's going to hold. So I think Mando, of these films, is going to drop. Again, next week, Scary Movie, was it 5? It's tracking really, really well. I think like 50 million. It's going to blow everybody out. He-Man, Masters of the Universe, they just picked up IMAX screenings, meaning they're going to try to recoup as much money as possible front end to challenge Scary Movie. I think Scary Movie is going to win next week. So my projection is Scary Movie 5, number 1 next week, Masters of the Universe, or Obsessions. Obsessions may still challenge that. And then Michael's coming in after those two. So Michael will still be number 4 next week, which is amazing, as it makes his profit. So interesting stuff. What we got in the chat here? You still got to see Michael? Go see Michael. What you waiting on, man? Yeah, it's holding. It's gonna hold. I think it's gonna be Mando Grogu next week, or what was it? Mango Grogu. I think Michael's gonna beat them next week. Obsession, I ain't gonna guess nothing with Obsession. That's going crazy. That's gonna hold really well. It may challenge Masters of the Universe next week. Like, that's how crazy Obsessions is doing. But Scary Movie 5 is gonna win next weekend if I'm gonna project something. I watched Michael with the whole family. Yeah, it's a concert. Yeah. Go see Michael. What you waiting on, man? Go catch a matinee at this point. Was it Scary Movie 6? Okay, Scary Movie 6. Okay. My numbers are all wrong. But that's going to win next weekend, yes. Michael's not number 1 biopic in the world. It beat Oppenheimer, right? This is good for the culture. For sure, I think, the overall number of Oppenheimer still has to beat. But domestically, I think it beat Oppenheimer. No, this is an event film of the year. Michael, until you get to like Spider-Man, Avengers, it's Michael. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought event films of 2026, Michael Jackson is up there, and it's going to leg out as much money as possible. They're going to keep putting in IMAX screenings. Go back and watch it again. That's what they're going to do. Number 3, see, so only reason why I say I'm not sure, because Obsession is a weird thing right now. Like, a lot of juju with that film. I can't really bet against Obsession right now. Like, it's went up every weekend. It's insane, unprecedented. Michael, I can see Michael get another 10 million next weekend, right? Will Obsession hold enough? I think it would. Scary Movie, Master of the Universe, Obsessions, Michael. That's my top 4 for next weekend. So good stuff. Good stuff. Raven said a post incoming for Zack Snyder. Yeah, I'm for sure. Maybe he'll hit it live. Maybe Zack, Zack says he loves the show, so maybe he'll drop it live. Maybe he'll drop it while I'm live. Obsession is getting a digital release. That's just more money. That's all. They're just going to add on to them. It's not no shame. You spent less than $1 million. You're over 100 million in theaters. Yeah, I will pull this and say, let's go straight to the audience. And let's gobble up this digital money now. And then we're going to get physical media money. No, they winning. Are you sure they're going to keep Michael in theaters and on IMAX? In my opinion, I think they're going to take it out of theaters so we can watch. I don't know about that. Michael, let me see. When did that come in theaters? Lionsgate. So April 24. Lionsgate may give this. It's only been a month. Lionsgate, if they're smart, if people are still showing up for Michael in theaters, you keep this in theaters for like 60 days or more. Right? Like, what's the new parameter for films in theaters? Let's see. In theaters, I think it was 60 days or more. I think it's like 60 or it may not be 90 days. Oh, let me check this out. How long will I want to say they promised 45 days. Yeah, 45 days. So that's the new parameter. Though I think Sony is trying to push it more. Let me see. Let me see how many days they promise. So, well, Michael, you're just at a month right now, and you're at least getting another weekend with this film. And as long as it's making money, so I guess 45 days is the thing. So you're talking about Michael getting another weekend or two. Yeah, 45 days. So you're not at that marker yet. So you keep Michael in theaters and make your money. Bad Beast was good. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff with that. So that is what it is. That's going to be the. We'll see what happens again next weekend with the box office. So good stuff. I mean, box office is a big thing right now, and we're gonna keep our eye on it overall. Let's get into Supergirl. Supergirl setting up its promotions going into the release of the end of next month, the end of June. It's a super summer going on. What we got here? You think $1 billion? I don't think $1 billion. I will hold to if it gets shy of 900 million or a little more, it's all good. Oh, the Wayans are. Oh man, they're like a family royalty. The Wayans, family royalty. They're going to make their money. The Scary Movie is insane. Remember having to wait almost a full year to get VHS DVD? Yeah. But see, if you're millennials or older, like we know the struggle. Made movies much more of a can't miss thing. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, again, event films. That's where if they're if theaters are going to say, or sorry, studios, Paramount, Sony, Lionsgate, they're saying, okay, we're going to give you 45 days. I know Universal. I think Universal is the one. That's what I was thinking of. Universal is going to do more days. I think. Let me see. Universal. So how many days? I think Universal wants to do more than 45. So you got the Odyssey coming out with them. Let me see if there's anything different there. It's still 45. Okay. So non-story. The point is, if you're holding the 45 days, then that's going to push back again the digital release and then the physical release and then the streaming release, right? So yeah, it's still not like it was back in the days where you're talking about a year before you can get this on disc. You know what I'm saying? Now with digital, a couple weeks after, really, while it's in theaters, it's going to drop on a digital. I'm a fan of 60 days. I thought I saw someone saying more than that, but 45 days seems to be the thing. Seems to be a thing. Let's get into Supergirl. Now, it's a lot of I do want to make clear, after last summer with James Gunn's Superman, because again, I cover when I do my box office stuff, it's very straightforward. I just rely on the numbers. Sometimes I hear things, and so that's why with Superman, I was told 500 million was the number. That was confirmed, but it's like a 50 million like window. And so it ended up really being about 550 was the number. But they met their number. And when I rely on the numbers and the data, I see people, they kind of get in their emotions. We don't want to talk about Supergirl. We're talking about Supergirl, Yovik. So people get kind of caught in their emotions. Well, I'm like, I just want to, you see, I go by the numbers, the projections, the forecasts, and I want to just deal with straight facts with it. Now, when it fails, when James Gunn's Superman 2025 didn't match 2013 Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, then you have a basis to go off of. When you're relying on, like, Ohio tax sheets and they spent $400 million to make Superman, it's hard to take the commentary seriously, right? And again, I'm not knocking. I'm really not. I'm really not knocking any channel. They call themselves Snyder fans and they lean into fake numbers. Have fun with it, right? I don't have fun with that, right? I like to go off the numbers they put on their financial sheets, and then if it fails, it fails, right? Like Drago said in Rocky 4, if he dies, he dies, all right? It is what it is. So let's deal with the real numbers, all right? So don't bring me fake projections and things like that. If Supergirl's going to fail, it's going to fail because not enough of the audience cares enough to go see this film. And that's what Mandalorian Grogu's going through right now. You don't think that's a template? What's going to happen with Supergirl? If I'm an exec with DC Studios, I'm very nervous right now. Again, Raven, there's one thing if it's going to bomb, using fake numbers is inconsequential. That's my point. Let it fail on its own merits. Just like Superman 2025 fell short of Man of Steel on his own merits. Let's allow this to do that. Again, that's how I cover this information. But yeah, if you see Disney Star Wars go down like it did this weekend, oh my goodness. If I'm DC, I'm like, man, we're in trouble. We're in trouble as far as the profit gain for this film. We're going to talk more about this. Super flop coming. Let's see. How are their projections when the Talkits hasn't gone? My bad, my bad. I'm just going off what you just typed. But just to let you know, again, I've been covering box office forecasts for like 5 years now. So you get projections, yes, even before the tickets go on sale. Just to break that to you. I wasn't trying to like make fun of how you was typing that. But the topics they don't sell yet. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat real quick before we get into this. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm gonna be honest. Like my program, we're separating from people that don't really know what they're talking about with box office or how budgets are. You know, we just want to go off the facts. You know, this is a well-known thing in this space. Talking about projections, there's long-term projections, forecasts, and then when you get closer to the film, you get like in 2 weeks, we're gonna know a really good projection of Supergirl. But the way it's lining up now, usually the long-term projections are higher than what it's going to be. After years of doing this, you have anomalies. You have Minecraft that's supposed to only make 50 million the first weekend. It made 200. Sometimes you just hit it out of the park, right? So this is just what the data is, right? I'm interested in seeing how Supergirl performs. It ain't looking good. Yeah, I mean, hey, this was a film. I was looking forward to this more than Superman 2025. But I have to go off of the facts, right? That is what it is. Gunners are emotional. I'm pretty sure they are right now. This ain't after what happened with Mando, or what we call it, Mango, Grogu. After seeing what just happened with that film, 70% drop versus horror films. Whew. And I guarantee Supergirl ain't getting 80 million first weekend like Mandalorian and Grogu. This ain't looking good, right? This ain't looking good. That's the thing with forecast. You got to go off of like-minded IPs. And you got more of a family audience with Mandalorian and Grogu than what Supergirl is going to even get. It's going to get like half of the audience that Mando Grogu got. And Mando Grogu's about to fall off a cliff. Oh, man. It's not looking good. Bayona says, I saw early on the stream why James Gunn always picks the worst month to release his DCU film. Well, no, Superman actually ended up okay. It beat Fantastic Four. It shouldn't have came up in close to. That's the thing with DC. Stay away from July 4th week. The week before July 4th or the week after. That's what Superman did. Is the week after Jurassic World. Jurassic World owned July 4th week, and internationally it owned it. Don't mess with July 4th. As DC, stay away from July 4th. Go like late May, late July. Stay away from late June, early July. It's not looking good. Good point. How are their projections? Let's see. Yeah, it's cooked. Yeah. Oh, no, it's cooked. And Spider-Man, Supergirl's going to be long buried before Spider-Man comes out. You're talking about Toy Story, Minions, Moana, live action. That's going to be the death knell like a week after July 4th week. Supergirl may get 3 weeks in theaters. It's going to get ganged up. I know you meant tickets. I was my bad. I mean, no, I'm checking out. Like, I'm making it very clear. I know last summer people took it like when I was talking about numbers and performances. I was like, no, when DC's in the theaters, I'm gonna go check it out. Shazam 2. I shouldn't have, but I checked it out in theaters. Blue Beetle. I'm going to theaters to watch this. I'm a lifelong DC fan. I'm going to check it out. It's the extended audience that's not checking out these films. So we got projections coming in, long-term projections. Supergirl looking disastrous. And like I said, even after this Mandalorian Grogu numbers, this 70% drop, this don't look good just for overall action, IPs like this. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is looking at a 47 million to 65 million opening, which would be a disaster for a superhero tentpole that costs 175 million to produce and at least another 75 million to promote. Now, to be clear, this outlet is some conjecture. So I just want to make this clear. And again, people act like they can figure out these numbers. It's like, oh, well, I know the marketing and we'll talk about all this. But that range is real. 47 million to 65 million. You're talking about The Flash and Black Adam, high end. Both of those films bombed. Okay. So you're already in bomb territory. You spent similar to Mandalorian Grogu. Mandalorian Grogu opened up to 80 million and fell off a cliff second week to low budget horror films. You put all this formula together, it's not looking good for Supergirl box office performance. Now, is the number 175 million? Is that what they spent for the film? They're going to jive with that number until they put it on the sheets. We don't have that exact number yet. Stop worrying about marketing too much because Supergirl got some marketing tie-ins as well. So you're not going to figure out the number going off of, no, I think the marketing is this, and I'm going to guess this. It's just calm down. I was told this past December, Supergirl's number is 375. Now, that's from the same sources that told me about Superman 2025. That number was 500 million. Now, what I've learned since then is that it's like a range number, really. I was told 500 for Superman. The number was really 550. So it's like a 50 million scale. When I'm giving a number, again, you got to go off of just the information when you're giving it. So if I apply that to my Supergirl number, 375 with a 50 million range to 425, this is the profit number. And it's not looking like it's going to get it. Okay. It's like, just long story short, it's not looking good. Okay. What we got in the chat? Music City in the chat was good. Superman didn't have a post-credit scene. That movie didn't lead to Supergirl. What makes you showed up at the end? Not saying that was effective. I'm just saying it showed up at the end. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go full R matey on this film. I gave Superman 2025 a chance in theaters. Not getting slapped. Is that how you felt? It's not looking good for this film. Again, I'm looking forward to the film. I'm of the group where we know how epic DC looks with Man of Steel, BVS. So we know how epic you can get for DC. But we also understand there's different iterations of these films, of these characters. And you give these characters a chance. 2025 Superman didn't match up to Man of Steel, numbers-wise. And it's not looking like Supergirl is going to do the number overall. So, yeah, according to people that I've talked to that's seen the film, that's seen the scenes at CinemaCon, they're like, yeah, it's like a Guardians of the Galaxy, Not me, but see, that's the thing. My argument with that, this Guardians argument, is I don't think that's really a diss. It just, are enough people going to care to see this film? That's all. This track is not good. And again, just with the Mandalorian Grogu, just according to reported numbers, they're going to spend at least as much as Mandalorian Grogu, but they're not going to make it. They're going to make half the money. And if Mando Grogu's falling off a cliff week 2, Oh, there's no chance for Supergirl. There's no chance. There's no chance as far as profit. That's just based off the numbers. We got Beyond Us saying, is there a rumor that Carol would not wear a Supergirl suit till the near end of the film? Well, no, Millie Alcock, she, for some reason, is teasing that, oh, you're not going to see the suit as much as you think it is. It's a journey. Yeah, it's a journey. Though we've seen the suit in Superman 2025. We've seen the suit in Peacemaker season 2. But they want to just have her in the trench coat, the Star-Lord suit, I guess, to the third act. I don't really see the reason for this journey. That's what they're doing. Okay. Maybe this is a flashback story. Maybe, okay, man. But see, that's the problem with this KFCU. that's the problem. With KFCU, they got to stick to the story. We need a linear story. So maybe she jumps back and gets a suit, and then she shows up in Peacemaker season 2, and it is stupid. That is what it is. Not a lot of hope for profit in the Supergirl film. The Kryptonian Who Walks. First, I gotta give my guy a drop for the super chat. Much appreciated. We gotta keep it canon.
Canon.
Yes. The KFCU is here. Why is the KFCU here? Because no, this is a real thing. It's a real thing. KFC has announced the marketing tie-ins. Now, to see Supergirl, that's why I said don't get caught up in marketing too much out there and try to think you're going to figure out the numbers. That you're not going to figure out their marketing numbers because they're going to hide it first off. But then, two, they receive marketing tie-ins. You got this makeup company buying into Supergirl. You got Milk-Bone, and you got KFC. Last year, Superman got a Dairy Queen, which is a very profitable tie-in because Dairy Queen's giving DC money to market the likeness of Superman. KFC, which is a pretty big chain, is giving DC money and Warner Brothers money to use Supergirl likenesses. That's how this works. That's how you get your money. But you got a KFC bucket with crypto. The KFCU is confirmed. James Gunn as the Colonel. It really happened. Like that's what's crazy. That's what's crazy. Mikey would have loved y'all, man. Do you realize Mikey wouldn't have been able to get a word out? He would have just been laughing like they really did it. They really did it. 3 years ago, we was talking about the KFCU. James Gunn looks like Colonel Sanders. So Gunn is gone. When they like, yo, Gunn, I know there's a standing joke about you. Like, I know, Mikey Sutton and some black guy, they made fun of Hamada with Hamada burgers, and Hamada didn't like that too much. And Gunn, I know you don't like that talking about KFCU, but they come with the money, Gunn. I know you look like the Colonel, but we got to get this check, Gunn. It's real. Oh man, rest in peace, Mikey, man. My goodness, man. Just a full circle. It's a full circle moment. Wow, he bet KFC. We need that KFCU. This is real, y'all. This is real. According to my local KFC, because hey, this is important to know. This is gonna go on sale next week. The Supergirl bundle meal. We got the crypto bucket with the Colonel Sanders. It's real, man. June 8th, you able to get this. You got a Kryptonian I think it's like a seltzer drink. It's like a Kryptonian concoction, the blue drink back there. Got some chicken tenders, some special DC sauces. This is real. Hey, just like last year, hey, I'm gonna get these food tie-ins. We going to get some KFCU next week, y'all. It's unreal, man. It's unreal. That's real. Oh man. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. But those are the projections. Again, those are the now. Again, the 175 number, it could be, it could not be. It's a lot of conjecture out there. But that range is real. If this film opens up 47 to 50 million, you're talking about The Flash. The Flash made 200 million in the box office. If you open up to 60 million plus, like Black Adam, then you're talking about, hey, we may make 300 million, but falling short of 400 million. That's the fate of Supergirl right now, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because it didn't have to go out like that. But that's what it's looking like with the numbers overall. Casey, like I said, hey, I'm going to get that Kryptonian drink. I'm there. I'm there for the food tie-ins. I just, I never shy away from that. We going to eat. like Tyree said in Fast and Furious 2, we hungry. We hungry out here. So we're going to review. We are going to review on the channel the KFCU bundle of Supergirl. Oh man. We hungry. It's just unreal. It's unreal that this came true, man. This is I can retire right now because this is the greatest confirmation in 6 years of doing this. This is an amazing full circle moment. Oh man. They really did it. They really did it, bro. So we had to take that in for a minute. That was years in the making right there. But then too, just the realistic numbers. Again, this film, the tracking is terrible so far, underwhelming. You're not getting more than Black Adam, and you're likely not even getting close to Black Adam numbers. You're getting more like Flash numbers. So that's tough in itself. But what did we say the whole time? Why this film's going to fail? First reason, Toy Story 5 is coming out a week before it. That's just reason number one. Now, me, as I said with Toy Story, the premise of this film, Toy Story 5, where it's going to pit the technology like tablets and portable games versus the toys. Wonderful premise. You're getting adults like me to go watch this film. And according to the numbers, it's tracking to be the biggest opening for Toy Story franchise ever. Over 150 million. I think it's going to get 200 million. Is opening weekend. That's not counting international. That comes out a week before Supergirl. Let's say this film, let's just go with this number. 150 opening weekend. It's going to hold good second weekend. So you're talking about 75 million week 2. And what's Supergirl tracking? 50 to 60. It's going to beat just like we've been saying the whole time. It's going to beat Supergirl's first weekend versus Toy Story's number 2 week. Then days later, July 4th week comes. Minions comes out. It's going to crush July 4th week. Supergirl already tracking behind. Now you're going against Toy Story 5, who's getting everyone to go see it. And then Minions, you're getting, kids and families for sure. I don't know how many just straight up adults is going to see Minions, but like more family focus is going to make its money. Toy Story is going to still be in theaters, still making money and holding. It's going to push Supergirl right out. And then Moana live action comes out a week after that. It's a wrap. It's a wrap for Supergirl. Now the numbers are lining up. Unfortunately for them, not looking good overall. We got in the chat. See people fighting over if Millie Alcock's attractive. I mean, some people may like that look. I don't know. I got a promo code for a ticket discount for the movie through Disney Plus, so there's that. But yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm going to see Supergirl, but the audience ain't gonna follow me. It's not looking good based off data, not based off feelings and emotions and fake numbers and all this stuff. Let's see. I'll move Supergirl back to April. Stay away from Toy Story. Well, yeah. See, you know what's funny? It's funny you say April because I would have said May, but even May wasn't safe for Supergirl. With Michael and Obsessions and Devil Wears Prada and all these films that just came out this past month, Supergirl wasn't safe any month. And you know what that means? That means if you wasn't safe any month, then you really ain't popping. April, that was Mario and Michael. And Mario faded out pretty quick because Mario Galaxy, fun film, whatever. The first Mario film's better. But this expanded the world, whatever. You can come out in March. Project Hail Mary was eating everyone's lunch. In March, there was nothing safe for Supergirl any month. Now May, Michael's still killing it. You got these horror films still killing it. You're not going to you got to wait for June. Right? Scary Movie 6 is about to slay. Toy Story is about to come out. It was no runway for Supergirl. That means your film's probably not that good. I don't want to say your film, your IP, DC is not hot right now. And a lot of people want to say, oh, well, it's a tarnished brand because, BVS, you mean the film that made $870 million in the box office? And its spinoffs, Wonder Woman made $800 million. Studio Squad made $700 million. Aquaman made $1.16 billion. BVS didn't tarnish a thing. DC, Warner Brothers tarnished themselves because they were trying to run away from the Snyder Cut. That's what tarnished the DC brand, making justice and following through with the foolery. They tarnished their own brand. Now you're paying for it, trying to do obscure characters. The general audience, they don't really care about Supergirl like this. Now you're about to see by the numbers. So your IP is as soft as Star Wars right now. That's what DC has to face. Disney's going to have to make a strong decision next year when Star Wars Starfighter comes up with Ryan Gosling, director Sean Levy. That they have a chance to make some money there. But if that fails, you need to reboot, retcon. You got to do whatever you need to do for Disney Star Wars because it will die then. With DC, DC, you already know what you need to do to revitalize your brand. Don't play like this. Gonna be on you if you leaving money on the table. If you had no leeway for Supergirl any month this spring or summer, that means your brand's not good. Just like Star Wars. Brand damage. Well, Superman brought everyone back to the theaters. Why did it make less than Man of Steel? You had some goofy in the chat saying, oh, Supergirl's going to make more than Man of Steel. Superman 2025 couldn't. Why do you think Superman can't beat Man of Steel? You think Supergirl will? Are we serious out here? This is what brand damage looks like, y'all. Okay. And I'm going to watch Supergirl. I think I'm gonna have a good time. I actually think I'm gonna enjoy the film. I think Craig Gillespie's a good director. He has a lot of James Gunn notes. That is what it is. I think I'm gonna enjoy the film, but the audience ain't gonna be there. That is what it is. It is what it is, man. Godspeed. Hey, you may not be missing nothing at all, yo. It's a January film, a streaming film. Oh my goodness. This film stood no chance from writing room to box office. Yeah, it's a wrap. Aslif. That's the point. That's the point. Yeah, Cuban comic fan in the chat. What's good with you? Yeah, for sure, man. Hit me up. I think I saw you. You messaged me on Twitter. Hit me up, man. Superman was good enough, but DC still has a long way to go. Oh yeah, you to see Supergirl, right? Cuban comic fan. Yeah. In the chat. Let's see. It'll probably be a Saturday. It'll probably be a Saturday. We got a local Sylv Nation in the chat. May do a Sylv Nation meetup for Supergirl. It'll be like probably 2 or 3 of us overall. Yeah, I'll hit you up, man. But I'm going to see Supergirl, man. It's DC. I'm going to see it. I'm gonna get that KFC meal. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm all in. I want the KFCU meal. All right, the extra sauces. I'm not getting the crypto bucket, but we going to see Supergirl with some KFC. Stop playing. And this is what brand damage looks like, y'all. We're seeing it in live action with Disney right now. And if you're saying there's no good month for Supergirl, your brand's not there, man. It's time to face the facts with that, man. And like with Paramount coming in, I think they got to see the data. They got to understand, like, it ain't about no personal favors. We're trying to make some money. I'm going to walk on. That's for his money back. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. So it is doom anyway for Supergirl. Yeah. Too many films for Supergirl versus box office. And again, that's a shame that DC is to this point, because I think Superman could have put up a fight because of the brand. You know, now knowing the film that we got, it's like, okay, Superman couldn't stand against Toy Story either. I mean, it couldn't stand against Jurassic World, right? Worldwide. So DC brand can't even hang with Jurassic World. It's tough, man. And now it's gonna make less than Disney Star Wars. Candor crispy fries, crypto crunchy chicken. These aren't official titles right here. Kara's kamikaze blue soda. I think the blue drink is like a Kryptonian drink, supposedly. So yeah, I'm down. I'm down with the blue drink. I'm down with that. It's a let's see, let's catch up here. He has to suffer for you. That's DC now, man. That's just what this is based off the numbers, y'all. I know people that's gonna be in their feelings out there. They're gonna want to argue against, the numbers are there, man. Superman 2025 couldn't match 2013 Man of Steel. It is what it is. If the DCU actually made an impact, I mean real impact, the Restore the SnyderVerse thing or Zach Post wouldn't mean a thing. People will pay no mind to it. That's the point, is the fact that Zach is still pulling, views and attention. If Gunn was really cooking, he'd be like, hey, Zach, I'm sorry, Zach. Gunn just made $1 billion. It's kind of a wrap, Zach, I still would believe, we could still get an Elseworld, but it wouldn't have that same effect for everyone. Now it's like, could it be an angle that you can do all these stories? Possibly. But I know Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2 will make money in theaters. We know this. And I think Paramount knows this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say they know this. Now, let's smash that like. Make sure you subscribe. Let's see how the numbers looking. Y'all been doing great these past couple weeks, man. So appreciated. I was sick over a week ago, and we still try to rock it out. And the numbers have been great. So whatever you're doing right now, take a moment, smash that like, make sure you subscribe. We are keeping this weekly show going. Thanks to y'all, man. I mean, this is a regular thing. Those coming in late, Jules told y'all a couple weeks ago she wasn't going to be here for a couple weeks. So, and then I'm going to be out of town next week. I may drop like a coffee talk during the week. I'm going to be out of town next weekend. So me and Jules will return 2 weeks from now for the show. So, but definitely appreciate the continued support for this. So. We got Bobby Manning here. And hopefully this is similar to the transition period like 1997, 2005. From Schumacher to Nolan, with Paramount getting Warner Brothers. For sure. Good stuff. Yeah, Zach, everyone loves the Snyder Cut. And they're probably going back now. See, the funny thing is, it's went in stages. Man of Steel came out, I remember there was people on Facebook back then, and they were just like, oh, shock and awe, like he snapped Zod's neck, but it was the greatest Superman film ever. It still is. And then years went by, BVS, people outrage. We understand what happened. That gets pushed off Justice League. Then all of a sudden, people start coming back to Man of Steel years later. It was like, this is a really good film, actually. Man of Steel hits. And then when Snyder Cut came out, everyone loves the Snyder Cut. I don't care who you talk to. Everyone is okay with the Snyder Cut. Even the antis, the haters, they were always a long film. Okay. They like the film. They can't say nothing wrong with the film. Zach nailed it. And he was going to give us that 214 cut in theaters 2017. Minus the nightmare scene at the end. We were about to get that cut in theaters. Everyone would have loved the Snyder Cut in theaters. And now, as Frieza says in the chat, people starting to kind of come around to BVS like, wait a minute. This was pretty epic. Kind of ahead of its time. This is perfect, though. Because with Paramount coming in, with the ace up our sleeve, the Saudis, who loves Zack Snyder's content, this is a great angle. And we'll talk more about Restore in a little bit here. I know there are people who love Superman 2025. I'm still yet to meet one person in my environment who likes it. I mean, hey, like I said, it's they have their audience. No, the Snyder cut, what I just said, the 214 cut. Now, this is why I know if it's like real Snyder fans are not in the chat. 214 cut. That was what, 3 hours 30 minutes, 3 hours 34 minutes. So it wouldn't have been a 4 hour cut. 214 cut was shorter. That's what it would have been in theaters in 2017. So just to. That's how I know when people are real Snyder fans or not. When questions like this come up, we've been doing this too long. You know, I'm going on my 6th summer right now doing this. See stuff like this? When I say 214, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I know you ain't a Snyder fan. You're just a casual watcher. All right, so Supergirl, that's his thing. Let's get more fully into this KFCU. Now that we established what we mean by the KFCU, rest in peace, Mikey. It's official, all right? it's official. James Gunn has been a little active on social media. And he had a few things to say about his DC. He still hasn't talked too much about Matt Reeves' Batman, fired for a good reason. But according to Gunn, let's pull this up here. He's talking about future projects. And people saying, oh, you know, Gunn never answered, hey, your contract's about to run out, right? Like, you don't want to answer that. And I get it. You know, you really want to answer contract questions, but still, James Gunn, you got a lot to say online as co-head of DC Studios. I can't wait till you're gone because you haven't been protecting the brand. All you're doing is gaslighting actual DC fans. You're empowering toxic fans of yours to go after Snyder fans. You're doing, allegedly, Gunn, you're doing this. You came into this job, Gunn, co-head of DC Studios, saying, you know, the fan base is fractious, and you've done nothing to heal the fandom. So this is why it's a harsh judgment on you, Gunn. When you pick up this mantle, see, Gunn, when you go back to Marvel, I don't have much to say about you. Because I talk about DC. You see? When you go back over there under Feige, ain't going to be a lot of smoke for you because you're safe over there. When you try to pick up this DC mantle and know that it's fractious and do nothing to heal it, you just gaslight people. I can't wait till you're gone. That's where we're at. We can't wait till you're gone. So your contract, you know, several people got extensions under Warner Brothers. DeLuca and Abdi notably got their extension beyond at least to 2028. James Gunn, you got an extension. You and Safran, it was for 6 months, going to April of 2027. So you're on the clock. You're less than a calendar year. You're in a lame duck year. Just like Casey Bloys with HBO. That's why he was meeting with Netflix, because he may have to go make movies with Netflix or streaming shows. Because the HBO formula is there. You don't need Casey Bloys for the HBO formula. That's what David Ellison knows. He's coming in saying, I don't got to pay this dude tens of millions of dollars if I can make the same type of shows without him. So we'll see. You're in a lame duck year, James Gunn. Just like we use that sport analogy, a head coach, you get to the last year of your contract, you don't want to play on a lame duck year. You want that security of more years. James Gunn, you got to your last year, you only got 6 months more added on to the end. So you got to April 2027. So you got this question here. It says, James Gunn, can we get some confirmation on what the next DCU project will be after Man of Tomorrow. Gunn says, well, Creature Commando season 2 won't be long after Man of Tomorrow, and more stuff as well shortly thereafter. So now see, this what makes my platform rare, because again, I watch all this stuff. I just give my honest opinion. I stayed up late when the Creature Commando season 1 came out. They was dropping new episodes 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on HBO Max. I was there for it, to watch it, to get the DC Easter eggs. It actually wasn't a badly written show, James Gunn, but no one cared. It was so obscure, no one cared. And that's fine. If you want to, that's actually James Gunn's lane. Obscure characters, do what you do. This isn't hype. Well, Creature Commando season 2 is coming out, guys. That's not gonna move the needle, even if it's some enjoyable stuff. Now, the good thing with Creature Commando season 2, Gunn did not write it, so it won't have his quirkiness. Though I thought he did a good job season 1 to the finale. So we're gonna get a different angle of someone doing DC, not James Gunn. I'm all for that. But this isn't going to get people hyped, Gunn. And you're no longer going to be CEO of DC Studios at that point. But your name will be attached as an executive producer. So you're still going to get your points off this stuff. So I get it. Gunn's going to be like, hey, there's still more stuff coming out, guys. He's going to get his points off of it. It is what it is. More stuff. What more stuff, right? What more stuff could Gunn be coming out with? Someone asked Gunn here, will we ever see General Zod, Doomsday, Dr. Fate, Black Adam, Ultraman with his crime syndicate, Darkseid? James Gunn says 2 of them and not too long. He thought he cooked. Gunn thought he cooked with this one. He gonna see 2 of these. What 2 people are we gonna see, Gunn? Now we know likely none of these are in Man of Tomorrow. So let's take this off the table. Darkseid is showing up in Mr. Miracle. That's an animated show. They're putting Darkseid in the show. I mean, you kind of have to with Mr. Miracle. Not enough people are going to care about that. See, that's the thing with Gunn. When you're co-head of DC, it matters if you're trying to hype characters. And probably Dr. Fate. Yeah, exactly. It's just going to be a Mr. Miracle. And that's fine. This is just like Creature Commandos. Not enough people are going to care. So you trying to hype this, well, 2 of them are coming not too long from now. That's not hype, Gunn. Anime doesn't count. Well, that's what they're showing up at. See, leaving it to a casual viewer, you're thinking, okay, well, Man, tomorrow we're getting Doomsday, General Zod. Let me lessen y'all. Anyone that got hyped for a second, just bring that hype down. These are going to be animated appearances that not enough people are going to watch, just like Creature Commandos. So, Gunn, you failed this mission, James Gunn. You have not successfully hyped anything in your DC. Your contract's running out April 2027. Paramount's going to be in the building likely this year. We'll talk more about them in just a moment. This is anti-hype. This is doing nothing for the brand. But this is what we're stuck with. Someone thinking this is bringing some hype. You're about to see 2 of them. I ain't going to tell you it's animated. We need more crypto. That's the problem with his DC, right? We need more. Because, see, on the surface, you're like, oh, it's Gunn. Now we know. See, Gunn had just, a moment of doubt last year. Like, wait, was he going to step up and do something? Now we saw your film. We see your style, your DC style, even with A-listers. Okay. Let's temper all this down. So when someone, just in general, as a DC fan, you're hearing, oh, General Zod, Doomsday, Dr. Fate, Black Adam, the real Ultraman, Darkseid. We're gonna see 2 of them in the near future. I'm gonna go out on a limb. You'll probably see General Zod in My Adventures of Superman. You see, none of this stuff is going to be like epic live action. That's the problem. None of this stuff is epic live action stuff. Gunn, you don't do epic live action. And Supergirl's going to attempt it. Craig Gillespie's not even an action director. So you probably got the wrong director for that film. I'm still going to see it, but I don't know how the action is going to really, line up. It's just Gunn, like you, head of DC, Gunn. I can't wait till your contract's up. Yeah, Darkseid. Yeah, that's the one we need to see from not too long from now. JL2. Let's get it. And so really to top off this KFCU portion, which may be a weekly thing on this show at this point. Gunn, he keeps, wanting to commemorate DC characters, their anniversaries and things like that. He did this with Sinestro recently, posting a picture of Sinestro that's he's not going to look nothing like that on the Lantern show, right? Lantern's going to be a grounded show. So Gunn posts this about Brainiac. We know Brainiac's in Man of Tomorrow. It says Brainiac is what happens when intelligence loses all connection to humanity, and Superman is as human as anyone. So I get why they have beef. Brainiac made his comic debut on this day in Action Comics 242. This was a couple of days ago. The anniversary of Brainiac. With this menacing picture of Brainiac. We know years of data, right? Again, an analytical approach. Gunn's Brainiac don't look nothing like this. It's not gonna look nothing like this. This Brainiac is gonna be like those scrolls in a Captain Marvel drinking Slurpees. That's what Gunn's Brainiac's gonna look like, with a purple jacket on, as Jules would say. As the homie Jules would say, you gonna come up with a purple jacket. It's not gonna be no aura coming from Brainiac. He's gonna have a Justice Gang suit on. You can't fool us, Gunn. Like, you're posting these epic DC pictures of Sinestro with yellow everywhere. We're not gonna see that in Lanterns. Brainiac menacing. We're not seeing this, man. This is why I can't wait till you're gone, Gunn. Because again, I represent there's a large section of my viewers who didn't even give Gunn a chance, and I don't judge you for that. But there's a subsection of people who thinks like me that says, hey, let's just see what you got, Gunn. We saw what you got. Those are the ones complaining to me every day now saying, nah, we gave Gunn a chance. No mas. Okay, it's a wrap. Gunn's Brainiac ain't gonna be nothing like this. Stop playing with us, Gunn. Stop playing with us, man. And your days are literally numbered. Less than a calendar year. We'll talk about Paramount in a moment. That deal can't get here more sooner. High Evolution Brainiac. We only just started with DCU. What are we talking about? We only just started. What are we talking about? Only just started. So are you saying we have to accept soft returns until what? You need to use Batman. Like this strategy is not working. You made less than Man of Steel, a film that came out 13 years ago. Supergirl's tracking terribly, showing that the brand recognition is just not there. But we just started? No, DC's been here. You should have came out with Batman. Should have did something with Batman, because these jumping around doing these other characters is not working. I'm talking about profit and performance. Now, when Zack Snyder came out, Man of Steel, 670, BVS 870. Snyder Cut dominated in streaming, according to the actual figures. So this you only started thing, that doesn't work, man. If DC was hot right now, Supergirl will be projecting like crazy, or at least a little more respectfully. And it's not. It's not. So no, you don't get the luxury of saying, hey, let's get a couple more films, guys. Let's, no. We know his Brainiac ain't going to be epic. Man, tomorrow, more of the same. Now you can sit there and just ride this mediocre rise. But again, people that gave James Gunn a chance, those are the people I'm saying that say, nah, this ain't really hidden. Is James Gunn scared to release an image of Brainiac looks? Remember the first reaction of James Gunn's Superman suit? Man. And everyone was caping saying, as far as the guzzlers were saying, oh, this is just a starter suit. He's going to get a new suit later. And I was told immediately. I went on a live and I said, no, this is the suit, y'all. This is what you're getting. Everyone was like, again, it's sad, just like with this Lanterns thing. Not respecting the lore. Oh, but we're just getting started, guys. Just the DC's just getting started. This is a bad start. See, if it was more of a hopeful start, if Superman 2025 was a little more epic and the hype was carrying over to Supergirl and Lanterns looked like an actual Lantern show. You see, we're just getting started, right? But what we're seeing is something that's not sustainable. That's the problem. That's the problem that we have right now. So I'd rather not keep going on this road, getting more of the same soft returns. We're just getting started. No, that doesn't work anymore. Matt Reeves, the Batman, was just getting started. He made 770. He's going to blow it off the doors in Batman Part 2. Oh, but it's just Batman. Exactly. Why are we doing this other stuff then? Maybe this KFCU shouldn't be existing. If we're just going to wait on Batman or go do a Justice League film. Like Zack Snyder's Justice League Part 2. I think they're wasting their time doing these KFCU projects. That's my stance. Not that it's just starting, is that you're wasting your time, actually. Appreciate Bayona with the super chat. Yes. Let's see what we got in the chat here. Yeah, we need that Paramount deal. We're going to get to Paramount. Let's see. Have we heard about the IMAX partnership for Last Photograph? I don't know. Is there anything out there with that? Let me see. Let's see. We got last photograph. I know Zach posted like a that he filmed it for IMAX Ready. What I believe is going to happen is that Zach has some kind of deal with a studio, someone to distribute it, and it will have an IMAX release. So that is the plan. The fact that Zach went out there and said publicly it's IMAX ready, that's probably part of his negotiations or whatever, but just whoever distributes the last photograph, either late this year or early next year, they will have an IMAX release. I think we're pretty much assured of that. It is a matter of what the studio would be. Will it be Paramount? Will it be A24? Because again, I heard A24 wants to work with Zach. I was confirmed. They confirmed that with me, people around A24. So will A24 secure a last photograph and then put it in IMAX? So we'll see. That's what I'm saying, man. We know what we're getting. I said, I agree. This is the best approach for Gunn, but I think so far with one theatrical release, it did great considering the box office of many other DCU movies since 2019. It's Superman. Superman better make $600 million. Also, if you want facts, Superman made a profit according to Forbes. Okay, see, when you say if you want facts, look at Forbes. Do you know what Forbes? How much profit did Forbes say Superman made? Let me put the onus on you with this. Filmology, Gia. How much profit did the Forbes say Superman made? Please, someone tell me. Someone tell me, please. It said 100+ million based off box office. I'm assuming, hopefully you got the article right there. You're quoting them. Based off box office, they got 100 million. Trust them or not, it's not a reputable source. Now I'm just asking. I'm asking the quote because you're quoting them. You're partially okay. So if you're saying they say it was off box office, that's incorrect. I'm saying you're incorrect in the article that you're quoting, and you're incorrect in real life. Superman 2025 made $619 in the box office. Their number was $550 for profit. Now, the article that you're quoting that I covered several times on this channel did not tell you that it made $100 million profit in box office. And I'm telling you, if anyone's claiming Superman 2025 made $100 million in profit, that they're wrong. So you need to get the correct quote from Forbes, but also know that number's wrong. $100 million profit just off box office is wrong. So we'll move on. We'll move on from there. Check out pull up that article again and come back, and we can discuss that further. I've covered that article way too many times. Let's get to the Paramount section of the deal. Now we know every week, since this is being the WB Paramount Saudi's DC SnyderVerse weekly show, we're going to be talking about the Paramount Warner Brothers deal. We're combing through all the false stories out there, people misquoting articles. And see, the only reason why my thing is that I'm really big on, if you're going to challenge someone, you got to make sure your facts are correct, man. You can't just come with just saying something. I read this stuff every day. Probably it's like at my detriment. So to come and quote something, trying to tell me to check my facts, that does kind of irk me a little bit. So I just want to make it clear why I'm not trying to come at the people in the chat like that. But if you're going to challenge me, at least come with the right information. I knew that article better than you, and you have it right in your face. That article's like months old. But so don't do that. I mean, come on. Maybe you're new. I'm sure you're new around here, right? I get it. But let's go to the latest on this Paramount deal. It's been an interesting narrative. Now, again, we're not going to regurgitate the Netflix angle too much because we don't need to. We're kind of beating a dead horse, making fun of the whole Netflix angle. But a lot of people who were against this Paramount deal, just coincidentally, they rather Netflix. And that just is what it is, right? For several reasons. But this latest push against Paramount, you have Mark Ruffalo and other people speaking out saying, oh, we got to block this deal and it's going to kill Hollywood and there's going to be less films a year. And Trump's bad, like, right, guys? Trump's bad. Care about Trump, man? What? This whole fear mongering, like I lost some rights or something. Come on now. People are gonna stop playing in our face with this political stuff, man. That's why I don't want to touch too much on it on this Geek channel. There'll probably be avenues in the future I will get into that space, but like, no, stop playing in our face, man. Trump's not gonna own Warner Brothers, so stop that. And it's not killing Hollywood. In fact, David Ellison has continued to say they want to make more films per year. No matter how many times y'all want to speak against it, the message is still the same. So what's the latest? Is this this boycott? Is it picking up steam? Is California about to block the deal and they're about to rage against this Paramount deal to block it state level? The headline says Paramount gains ground and push for DOJ approval of its Warner Bros. Discovery purchase as regulatory signal potential approval. Now, this is federal. We talked last week how Paramount, they're lowered up. They got the best guy in the business that pushes over any deals. He's nonpartisan. He helped deals that favored the Obama administration. He's pushing a deal that's so-called favoring the Trump administration. It's not about politics. It's about business. That's all this is about. So they got one of the best guys Paramount does on their side saying, bring the litigation. If you're ready to sue to block this deal, bring it. We're ready for it because it's baseless and you're just scaremongering people. And it's been crickets. It's been crickets. All this talk that California and New Jersey and all these people are going to block it, we ain't hearing nothing. Now, federal pretty much, David Ellison behind the scenes, he was working with the federal side, the DOJ. They pretty much already approved it. They just have to allow enough time for any potential lawsuits to be brought up against this deal for antitrust laws, basically saying, are there going to be less movies or not? Let me just be clear when I don't want to use no jargon with this part. Just, are we going to get more films or less films? Because the claim is that this Paramount deal is going to bring about less films. You had sitting politicians right now, people in Congress, in the Senate, putting out videos lying to y'all. I brought Elizabeth Warren and Jaya Paul and Cory Booker. It just so happens they're all on one side of the political aisle. I wonder why. This is what they did to Spirit Airlines. You know, the airlines that doesn't exist anymore, playing these political games. But David Ellison, he had something for him. He's lawyered up, and we're not seeing it. There's a lot of talk, No official lawsuit has been brought up to this deal, meaning it likely will skate on for another month and a half and close. Says Paramount appears to have made substantial progress in securing regulatory support for its ambitious acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery. Following an intensive 2-hour session at the Justice Department, antitrust officials have shown signs of being persuaded by the media giant's assurances regarding the future of theatrical films. That's what this is all about, y'all. One side saying it's going to be less films. David Ellison saying, bro, we literally have plans. Warner Brothers, DeLuca and Abby, they're in on this. They're saying, oh, yeah, we're going to do like 20 films next year alone, just with Warner Brothers. And David Ellison says, I'm doing at least 15. That's 35 films right there or more. That's more jobs. There's more people on set. And they want to do more local. They want to have more films in the States, not run into UK. You still want to do those tax breaks. But you bring more movies stateside productions, that's more jobs for people on the set. That's more local jobs. That's all this has been about, y'all. Like it's like, hopefully I didn't complicate anything, but it's like that's literally people are saying, Mark Ruffalo and all these people saying it's gonna be less films, and Dave Ellison's like, no, we're doing more films. We keep telling y'all this. Now we just went to the federal level, the antitrust. We've convincing them. We're going to do more films. We showed them the business plans. So y'all anti-Paramount people, you're running out of excuses out there. You're running out of problems and accusations. Y'all got to come up with something new. Don't just yell Trump bad. That's not going to stop this deal. Let me break this to some of y'all out there. That doesn't stop. That a lot of people, you can get a lot of people to vote against them, yelling, "Oh, Trump bad." So let's not do that. Let's stop that. This is business. And that scaremongering is not working. Mark Ruffalo. He thought he was. Like, this dude, Ruffalo is just like, it was all performative. That's what we were saying. It was like, this is all just the agents want to get on the, they want a PR moment. We got De Niro to sign. All of y'all gonna be lining up for films to make films with Warner Brothers and Paramount. De Niro, you just made a Warner Brothers film, Alto Nights, last year. Stop fronting. So I need you to just go and relax and go to your auditions to get some jobs because they about to make over 35 films a year. So you may want to get a part over there, Ruffalo. Because I don't know how long you're going to do this Marvel Hulk stuff. We kind of getting tired of you. If we're going to be real about this, you ain't no Edward Norton, bro. So I'm just saying. Supposedly it's going to be Savage Hulk and Spider-Man. That's cool. I'm kind of over Ruffalo Hulk. It's going to be real about it. And these studios may be over you, bro. You better go on get some in that audition line for Paramount. Stop playing. We got Vegas says it's going forward. Ain't no one stopping this deal. They can fearmonger and lie like they usually do, but the truth is the truth. And that's all we're leaning on. If it was something really blocking this deal, like me and Jules kept saying, me and the homie Jules just kept saying, yo, we will put them on blast just like anything. It's just this is skating along, y'all. And all this talk online, like, oh, we're against this deal. They ain't put no litigation up. Like, you got to put this paperwork in. You got all this time. You've been talking for months. We ain't heard nothing. Just some tweets and performative, comments. Y'all ain't really bringing it. No, if you support Paramount, you're MAGA. Though David Ellison is not MAGA at all, which is amazing. It's amazing the narratives out there, man. I'm just saying, regular people, that doesn't move us. That doesn't move us. We look at results. That's what we look at. You want to quote And lie is that Gunn was promised to keep his job. Right. The quote doesn't exist. Anyone online, that's what's so sad right now. We're in the age of Google, and you can even search through AI now. And there's no quote that exists that says David Ellison promised he would keep that the Gunn and Safran would keep their job. It's been the opposite, actually. It's been no promise. DeLuca and Abby are on a contract, so they're going to be there at least to 2028. Casey Bloys of HBO hasn't been promised anything. Now it's confirmed Zaslav is out. Because that's the thing, Raven. Attached to that fake quote is that everyone, including Zaslav, will be safe. But see, that was the first string that just pulled from that whole lie, a quote that doesn't exist. Is that upon completion of this deal, Zaslav is out. So anyone that he was protecting or trying to save, if they're not under contract, it's a wrap. DeLuca and Abby, they good to 2028. Probably like the summer. Next year, they'll get to their get close to their contract year. They may get another extension. And I say their contract's at least to 2028. It could be longer. It could already be longer. Gunn Safran, April 2027. You're less than a calendar year, Gunn. Lame duck year. I got to get that ticker up there. We're counting down to April 2027. That's just what we're doing. I've never seen some 11th hour swoop in and change a contract like that. This is your contract, bro. Looks like a wrap. You have people, again, relying on fake quotes and saying, oh, it's a backdoor deal. That's funny. A backdoor deal for Gunn. Okay. We'll see. Once this Paramount deal, looks like this Paramount deal is really going to close in July. Unless one of these states that y'all gassing up out there, you antis, unless they step up and actually put some litigation up, this deal's about to close in July. Then we'll see. Will Gunn get his extension then? I hope this closes as soon as possible in July. And then Paramount just don't say nothing. Just like Hamada. When Discovery came in and we knew Hamada, his contract was up in 6 months, they didn't say nothing. They were just sitting there chilling. Just letting the time go out on Hamada. And Emmerich went first that spring. He was like, oh, your contract's up. We didn't fire you, but we didn't extend you. Hamada, he went all the way to like October. He was like, the contract's just going to run out. So if this deal closes in July, we're just going to be counting down. We're just going to be counting, hey, good. Like, you got an extension yet, bro? You can't wait on Man of Tomorrow. That comes out after your contract's up. Crazy times, y'all. Crazy times. Mark Ruffalo. I feel like that's like undue shade. He became this voice. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm tired. I'm kind of off this Ruffalo thing, man. We got Shin in the chat. Stop in and show some love. Gotta get back to work. Smash that like, Still Nation, or confirm that you're a Gunn Glazer. That's the test for everyone. Like the man said, smash that like. Make sure you still subscribe. Like the likes. The likes getting there. Y'all have done so great. I'm not going to be too hard on y'all this week. Y'all been really great with the likes. The replay crew, y'all have come in and blazed. It's been much appreciated. Been much appreciated. They, that's their source. They. Or they put up a meme. It's like, bro, why y'all doing this to yourselves? And why challenge someone else with something you didn't even confirm? And they really came in here confident saying, oh, well, the article says this. I'm like, bro, I know the article backwards and forwards, man. Because I'm crazy enough to read this stuff every day. So it's like, you can't just come here and slip in a quote. I'm like, no, that's not in that article. Can't do that. It's amazing. So let's see what else we got with this. Again, according to this, Paramount has been convincing the antitrust officials regarding the future of theatrical film releases. They're basically showing them the plans to do over 30 films a year. This is real. Now, all these antis, all you gotta do is come in, and prove them wrong. Come in here and challenge what they're saying. But all y'all doing is tweeting. All they doing is tweeting. He's gonna, when Gunn gets canned, he's gonna do a podcast to explain his plans for DCU. Well, according to Gunn, he's asking his followers, "Hey, what do you think is canon? Is my Suicide Squad really canon?" I'm like, Gunn, you don't know if your film is canon? Like, you took this job and you don't even know? This kidding. We got Escobar in the chat. He's on X Twitter. Shout out to X Twitter. Comment, share the video, engage on Twitter as well. He says, random question, non-Snyder related. Is rumored my quarterback, Caleb Williams, of the Chicago Bears, the most clutch quarterback in my lifetime and yours. He may be the Madden cover athlete. Oh, yeah, they want to see. Remember, the Saudis own EA Sports. So the Saudis are going to use analytics. They're going to allow EA to run their company, but the Saudis are going to be like, what's going to make as much money as possible? Caleb Williams is hot right now. He should be the cover of Madden for sure. So when we up, I'm happy. But do you believe in the Madden curse? And let me pull up this question so people can see what he's saying. Hold on. Get this together here. Do you still believe in the Madden curse? No, I'm off the Madden curse. I think who had the last few covers of Madden? The curse. Let's see, the last 5 Madden cover athletes. The Madden curse has kind of been broken recently. I think Josh Allen, he got through his year okay. Let me pull up. That cover curse is wild. I think McCaffrey got hurt. I think he was in the cover of it not too long ago. Saquon had a bad year. So it's kind of okay. It's kind of lining up. Like I said, Josh Allen, he did okay. Mahomes and Brady was a couple years ago. So I'm just saying, like, will he have like lesser numbers this year if he's on the cover? I think he's good. I think Josh Allen broke the curse a couple years ago. That's my answer to that. Josh Allen broke the curse. But good question though. You know what's funny? You just said Millie Alcock, she was on that DC Studios podcast, which they messed up season 1. They had some guy who knew nothing about comics at all. He's like, oh, I'm just here for the characters, just the writers, and I want to learn about the comics. And he was just terrible on that show. So they kicked him off the show, right? Season 2 of the DC Studios podcast came up, and he's not on the show anymore. It's just Coy, who's, he's a DC shield. He's literally a paid shield. And I think he's a real nerd, a real geek, Coy Jandro, but he's a paid shield. We understand that. So I pulled up that podcast episode, Raven, because at times at work, I can just put on the podcast and kind of zone out, do my job and kind of just listen. And as soon as it started, I just turned off the podcast. I was like, I really don't care. I'm not going to learn anything listening to Millie Alcock talk about Supergirl. Her quotes have been terrible. Not the not the feminist rage baiting stuff. Just she doesn't know anything. Like she's Billy Alcock. She's not the most interesting person to hear talk. So I just stopped the podcast. I mean, the story's not significant. Supergirl, this DC world isn't going anywhere, I don't think. So bear it down for sure. Shield rejects. That is what it is. Let's see. Do we got anything else in here? Again, they're convincing the antitrust laws. That's all we wanted to hear. Again, this antitrust staff is an independent agency, and they raise questions about, again, the potential reductions in big screen releases. It's not that I'm repeating myself. This has been the same thing every week. It says, particularly in California, their attorney general has indicated a willingness to scrutinize the transaction for any anti-competitive effects. But California, now this is no diss to anyone that lives in California, but I'm just saying, as a state, you got to step up. Okay, if you're saying Hollywood is being challenged, you can't just keep going. You can't just keep tweeting, California. You can't just try to have some one-off quotes, thinking you're sticking it to MAGA or whatever. This has nothing to do with MAGA. California, put up that litigation, then we can talk. But right now, it's looking really good for Paramount. That's pretty much the theme. That's the theme of this article. And I have a good feeling next week we will have a new article saying the same thing, but it's all good. We're counting down to this deal closing. We're now about a month away now, a little under a month. We'll be in July. And you either bring up that litigation or, shut up. That's all. So when I see y'all tweeting online, you people in the Senate, and Congress, every time you bring up this deal, I'm going to quote tweet you, say, where's the litigation? All this stuff is just talk right now. That's where we're at. Here's the final countdown. That is what it is. And so now let's get to our section every week. Again, this weekly show, obviously we're counting down this deal. Any late notable DC news or lack thereof, we try to talk about it. But ultimately, we're here for it. So, Zack Snyder, pretty active. Pretty active this past week. I think Zach is just like, yo, I'm just gonna give y'all drops. I'm gonna break the internet routinely every week at this point, at will. To be quite honest, he only took a break when he lost his father. Because Zach just be going in. He posted Batfleck with the quote, they were hunters. Like, do y'all understand? Do we understand what Zack Snyder is doing? Do we understand this man? Like, he's been dropping a lot of Bruce Wayne quotes from BVS, talking about his legacy. He just drops, they were hunters. Like, first, that's why I keep saying with BVS, people still sleeping on Terrio's dialogue in that film. The quotables in that film. They were hunters. Like, Zack Snyder's coming. Zack Snyder's coming, man. Like, it's no other way. This is a theme every week. I can only take this one way, y'all. I'm 2 foot into just something's happening behind the scenes. Zack Snyder's coming. Now he's saying they were hunters posting Batfleck. Zack Snyder's coming. He was on the lot, on the Paramount lot. Hey, just randomly here, guys. Oh, they about to buy DC. Oh, who would have thought that? Shout out to Turkey Al Sheikh. Oh, he's a minority stake owner. Well, the Saudis are. He runs the entertainment division of all of Saudi Arabia. They're already doing Hollywood level films over in Saudi Arabia, showing that they can run a major Hollywood production, meaning we could do that Nightmare movie. So if everything stands how it is, we close this deal July. I'm saying by the end of this year now or early next year, but I'm talking about the end of this year now. I want an announcement. We're about to take the crew over to Saudi Arabia, do the Nightmare movie and the Batfleck movie. Let's get it done. See, there's be new owners of DC. These are people going to be over them. Say, hey, you do what we're telling you to do. We could just fire you. See, this isn't like David Zaslav coming in, not knowing anything about the movie studio business. Zaslav's like, hey guys, y'all know how to do films. We're just over here, doing our thing. Y'all are the experts. Zaslav had to do a whole tour after he bought Warner Brothers to learn about the industry. Now you got Paramount coming in. David Ellison, he's been producing films over 15 years. He knows the industry. He already has relationships out there with people. And he likes DC. He's name dropped DC twice, not Gunn or Safran, just a brand DC. According to reports, Paramount's already been recruiting people to do DC projects. Not like an interconnected world, just one-shot projects. It could connect, it cannot connect, whatever. Independent of James Gunn and whatever he's doing. That was before they put in the bid to buy Warner Brothers. Paramount was talking to people about DC, making DC projects. So they're going to come in and say, okay, what's going to make money? The Saudis, they put in $10 billion of this deal in this deal. According to the terms of that deal, they can use an IP, they can shoot a film out there and premiere a film out in Saudi Arabia. We know they want to use DC. So this is just very clear to me that it ain't like, well, the current execs, they think this. There's new owners now. There's going to be new owners. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter if you're trying to save your job, you're trying to save your points on projects or whatever. You're coming in wanting to do DC already. David Ellison's already interested. Let's announce that Nightmare movie this year. Oh, but what about 2027? You got Man of Tomorrow coming out in the summer. You got the Batman Part 2 coming out next fall. Well, just like in 2022, y'all didn't wait for the 2023 slate of DC films to announce James Gunn's reboot. Y'all pretty much killed Shazam and Blue Beetle and The Flash and Aquaman. Aquaman 2. Y'all kind of killed it. But y'all was like, hey, it's a reboot. So we could do the same thing. Hey, we're just doing this Nightmare. Justice League 2. We're going to do this in Saudi Arabia. You can still watch Man tomorrow if you want. It don't matter. Like, we know we're going to watch Batman Part 2. We're going to watch that. You don't got to wait on anything. So I'm expecting an announcement this year, y'all. How things are standing now where this deal looking like it's going to skate right into July. And close. What we got? Remember the anti saying Zach being in Paramount building means nothing. Yeah, for no reason, right? The timing was amazing. It's like, Zach, it's like all this time you saw the bidding going on. And you had people thinking, oh, Zach hasn't been posting, so maybe he doesn't like Paramount. Like, oh, Zach's like, no, I'm on the lot right now. Oh, they about to buy DC? Oh, who would have thought? Yeah, Zach, he's supposed to do that 300 prequel with Warner Brothers, which will Well, actually, it'd be under Paramount now, which means it'll probably be on that Paramount Super app now. That's going to absorb HBO. It's just funny how things just fall into place, man. It's just funny. Interesting, right? Just all this is I love when things come together, right? They were hunters. And Zach didn't stop there. I think a day or two later, boom. Hope. Zach says, on my planet, it means hope. It will always mean hope. It's a picture of Henry Cavill's Superman. And the word hope. There's only one hope. Zack Snyder knows what he's doing. You can't put a picture of Henry Cavill on this screen and say hope and us not think we're going to see him again. Hey, I'm fully on the Zack Snyder wave, the Zactivation. This cannot mean something, right? It cannot not mean something. It means hope, actually. That's what it means. If I was dying to finish my Superman story, the 5-part arc, I would not be keep bringing it up and teasing people if I didn't have a chance. If I'm Zack Snyder, I'm like, because he talked about that full circle. Him and Chris Terrio, he was like, "Oh, we got a new story. We got it mapped out. We got treatments already." Ben Affleck, "Oh yeah, I got ideas for Batman, but I can't talk about it right now. I'm not gonna say too much about it." They want to finish these stories, y'all. And if I didn't have a chance, I wouldn't be talking about it like this. If I do have a chance, if I have hope, this is exactly what I'll be doing. This is what Zack Snyder did before in 2020. I always talk about this 2/14 day, February 14th, 2020. Zack teased a new shot at that time of the Flash in the Snyder Cut, but he couldn't announce the Snyder Cut yet. He had to wait to May. And Zack commemorated the announcement day last week. So this means something, y'all, okay? Zack just told you. It will always mean hope. That's what this is telling me, is that Zack is saying this will always mean hope. And right now, just coincidentally, things are lined up like never before. Really, since what was that, 2022? When Cavill was coming back, Ben was coming back. Zack did the Crisis Turkey that previous Thanksgiving. There was hope then. And actually it was happening. Then we understand. They put too much on Black Adam, silly stuff. I understand. This means something, y'all. And there's no other way I'm going to take this. There's no other way. Justice comes eventually to all. You can't be more plain than this. Zack is talking to us, and he's being as clear as day. I mean, I knew as soon as I saw that 2/14 post, that's when if I was like at 90% then I was like, okay, no, something's happening. I felt the whole time something was happening, and I haven't heard nothing directly yet. So I like being on this ride with everyone else. I'm like, I'm a fan first, and Zack is giving us all the clues. And when he got to he was counting down the anniversary of the Justice League, the 5th anniversary. That's a nice clean number. The 5th anniversary. And he waited to the 2/14 post, and he said 2/14. I was like, okay, Zack. I was like, okay, something's happening, y'all. You know, I don't mind if everyone else has to catch up, but something's happening. Okay. Now he's saying again, this is the hope right here, y'all. Long game of chess. Gunn thought he was too on a checkerboard. y'all are killing him for that. That checkerboard, he'd never lay that down. My goodness. And then I think like under an hour, Zach posted this. People got people thinking, are we in celebration mode? He posted twice in one day, Henry Cavill Superman. Are we in celebration mode right here? What was he? Says with Henry Cavill and my AD team on the last day of shooting Man of Steel. And he mentioned their names right there. They got the champagne flutes out. Toasting the beginning of the SnyderVerse. The DCEU was birthed with Henry Cavill Superman with a suit that looks good behind the scenes. Are we in celebration mode or is it time to toast? What are we toasting to, Zack Snyder? Because this is a toast with something beginning. So whatever you begun then in 2013, is it being restored? Are we still in celebration mode? Because if I felt somber about something, if I felt like, oh man, I don't have no chance to make this again, I wouldn't be posting like this, man. I'm posting because I know I have a chance or they already know something. And that's where I'm at. It's not about no chance. Zack Snyder already knows something. Just like he did before. We're in celebration mode. So that's what we're doing with this weekly show. We're celebrating Restore because I feel we already got it. That's where I'm at. What we feel in the chat, last minute comments or questions, throw it in the chat. If you haven't already, smash that like. It has been a wonderful response these past couple weeks. Live crew, y'all been doing great with the likes. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that. Replay crew, y'all have been wonderful smashing that like as well. Much appreciated. Like I continue to say, it's only one way to take this. I think we're celebrating. Last minute comments or questions, throw it in the chat. As I mentioned, coming up this week, I'm sure I'll drop something during the week, coffee talk related. Got some short form stuff to do. I got to get this on Patreon. It's a separate platform, patreon.com/sylabdul, link in the description. That's where I put all my leaks and scoops and stuff. I need to put out something about Masters of the Universe before the film comes out. Some interesting leak with that about, I guess, a future, or we'll talk more about that. Become a member. I'll be having member-only uploads. I've done that a couple of times already. So at times, y'all will get it. I know, again, this upcoming week, I want to talk about like Spider Noir, X-Men 97 Season 2. So I'm thinking I'll probably do like a little episode and give it to the members or something. We'll see. We'll see how that works. But I definitely want to get some more stuff out there because next weekend I won't be here. The homie Jules, she's been off for 2 weeks, but she'll be back after next week as well. So we no show. I'll probably have an upload show, a premiere video, a show next week, but I won't be live next week. That's what I would say. But we got to keep this slot open. Y'all have been, again, responding great to my first regular stream in 3 years, regularly scheduled stream. So we got to keep this up for sure with y'all support. See what we got as we close this down. Behind the scenes suit. Yeah, I mean, the suit looks good. Yeah, just behind the scenes. That's amazing. Zach knows what he's doing, and us faithful ones know too. Yeah. I think the highlight of this show, this episode, is the KFCU confirmed. Confirmed, man. Unreal. All these years, he really did it. Shout out to Lil G. Hit that like, guys. I'm working right now. I did it. Much love to Seal in the chat. Motu, yeah, we're gonna be talking some Motu. You know, I'm gonna be following the box office performance of that. Really looking forward to that. Motu has gotten they just added it to the IMAX release, which I find very interesting. They may get a little extra money because the projections are coming in a little soft for Masters of the Universe. The IMAX screenings may give it a little bump to hold off Obsession and Michael. So we'll definitely talk more about that on this channel. You already know. Zack Snyder has a new plan for his Justice League 2 and 3. Well, that's what Terrio said. Zack and Terrio said, you know, you got the leaked storyboards that's out there, which we all know good and well. But there's been some tweaks. He's kind of tweaked the story. So Terrio said he's ready to do a full script whenever, at full circle. Chris Terrio said he already has a treatment. When it's time for a story, he'll knock it out. I'm with you. I'm waiting to hear something once the deal closes. How do you think the rollout should be? I think, let's move this. I can't even be serious with this bucket in my face. I think if they do it the way I'm suggesting, have the Saudis do the Nightmare movie, you go and announce it by the end of this year. Say we're gonna go into production next spring. And I think you lean into DC, you know, Elseworlds, I don't think is a bad term. People think like, oh, it should be the main thing. But no, like Reeves could have his corner. If Gunn performs, he'll have his corner. So this is world of DC. And when you have these different iterations, you need something unique to it to justify, okay, why is this a separate DC world? Like Matt Reeves has Batman, so he's the only one doing Batman right now, basically. James Gunn's doing Superman, so he's kind of keeping the Superman saga thing going. Zack Snyder has Justice League. And I'm pretty sure that's why James Gunn couldn't use that name. He had to use Justice Gang because there's already a Justice League, and we don't want to mix this up at all. So, Zach, you do Justice League. So all you got to do is promote it as Justice League. There's nothing else like it out there. Reeves ain't doing it. Gunn ain't doing it. So you just lean into your brand. Justice League as a brand. Zack Snyder's Justice League, Part 2. There's nothing stopping them from just promoting that name as an IP overall. So good stuff. Yeah, we haven't seen the new storyboards. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you're right. He said he has new storyboards. He said that years ago, and then Terrio said he has a treatment and he's ready to write a new script whenever Zach, needs it. No lanterns this week. No lanterns this week. It was a couple other stories that pushed the lanterns out for this week, but it's still here with us. That's why I was joking with Jules. It's becoming a lantern show. That's hilarious, man. Lanterns, but now we got the KFC. Hey, like I said, I don't front, y'all. I know a lot of y'all don't like this James Gunn stuff, and I get it. And shout out to y'all respecting that there's people among you that we know what epic DC is. But some of us were like, oh, let's just see what they got. It's okay. Everyone don't have to agree on that. But we do got to agree on what the results really are. It was a soft return for Superman 2025. Just facts. Supergirl's not tracking well at all. You see what Mandalorian and Grogu is doing right now? Supergirl's on pace to do half of what Mando and Grogu is doing. is not looking good. But with that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing Supergirl. I want my KFCU. I want my Kryptonian blue drink, some DC sauces. Like I'm there for it, bro. I'm there for it. That's why I say some Kryptonian fries. Hey, the fact I'm commemorating that the KFCU is real. We spoke this into existence, y'all. Unreal. Hate that lantern suit. Oh man. Amazing stuff, y'all. I'm gonna slide on out of here. Let's get this bucket out of my face, man. This is crazy. But like I said, just across all my platforms, just keep your eyes open, notifications on. Patreon drops coming, members. I'm gonna get some short form stuff together as well. Again, thanks for the support for the live crew, replay crew. Y'all have been amazing. Again, finding the video, smashing the like and everything. Just looking forward to doing, like I said, this show regularly. So as we close this out, KFCU is real. Enjoy that from Mikey. This would have been the biggest laugh he had all this year, and so we're gonna remember the good times that we laughed with the KFCU being confirmed. Unreal. Much less, Sub Nation. I gotta get on out of here.
Watchmen forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil, we need to know the ins and outs. Who's walking out, buying in? We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show. Let's go.